What's up, Miles?
What's up, Dan? How's it going, man?
Going good, going good. I am excited for today, episode number 18. I know as a company, we've been doing a lot of kind of deep dives and um, quarterly refreshers on really what we do. And recently, heavy deep dives into Google AdWords as a main demand gen channel. Um, if you're anything like us, you are seeing and getting some insights into how Google is really um, trying to take control of the ad account and taking away our control. So that is today's topic. 3 ways to keep control of your Google ads.
I love it, and I think what tipped us off really to do these quarterly deep dives on our Google Ads account is that they removed broad match modified, so they completely removed match type, and then the definition of these match types are starting to change.
Mm-hmm.
So, that made us go in and really redefine or re-explain why we are using the match types we're using. And yeah, I'm excited to hear your three tips here. Control
All
that.
right. I got three, but I think you just did a really good one on the match types. Maybe we'll do that as a bonus in the back end.
I like that. Let's do it.
Awesome. So, most importantly, or I guess not most importantly, but number one, your bid strategy. Really, the bid strategy, the bid strategies that Google provides is about how much control do we want or how much we want the algorithm to have control. Um, in the past, when it felt like Google rewarded us for ad and keyword quality, we were very heavy in max conversion and target CPA. More recently, we are finding Google's algorithm really trying to um, really increase our cost per click and increase our conversion costs when we give it too much freedom. So the number one initial way to control your Google Ads account is to begin shifting and exploring a manual CPC. Full disclaimer here, a manual CPC campaign is a lot more work. But in a world where we're paying for every click and we want to understand the keywords and the clicks that are bringing people to our website, manual CPC really allows us to get granular and optimize at the keyword level and completely control. I think it's a bid strategy for experts only. So I want to be very clear with that. Be careful shifting to a manual CPC if you don't have the bandwidth or consider yourself an AdWords expert. But it's one of the best ways to control cost and optimize at the keyword level specifically.
I really like that. I think it's really good to start in the exploratory phase of Google Ads. So, when you start with Google Ads and you're trying to figure out what keywords work best for you. I found I started an account with maximized conversions and was in that exploratory phase trying to find keywords that converted well. And Google, I think one of my costs clicked like $450. And it cost me this insane amount of money because it thought it was going to convert, but I didn't have enough data in my account to give that tip to it, I guess. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
really like manual CPC.
absolutely. And bring it up to them and wait to see what they tell you. um, yeah, I think you made a really good point, and it allows you to kind of like optimize the keyword, optimize your search impression share, and like individually bid what you feel is best based on the relevancy of that keyword to your specific solution. Um, Number two, this was a bit tricky, but I think it's really important. Google is defaulting to um, uh,
Responsive.
responsive. Whew, I blanked on that
There we
one. To responsive
go.
ads and really kind of like hiding the text ad structure. Responsive ads, I will say don't annoy me too much because I understand Google's ability to quickly test and optimize based on the user query. But we really like to practice what we call perfect relevancy, tie the keyword to the ad, to the landing page, and provide that perfect relevancy through the funnel. So I always want a mix of text ads in our ad groups along with those responsive ads. And really, you have to, when you're going in your ad creation, there's literally a text link that says switch to text ad, even though you selected a responsive ad. And that's how you switch back to text ads. And that's going to allow you to control the user experience better if you need to control the user experience better.
I like that. So it's almost that middle ground, having that blend between text ads and responsive ads.
Yeah, in the sake of testing, I do want to test text ads versus responsive ads and not just have Google kind of show our customers whatever they want. They don't understand our customer profile. They don't understand our customer needs as much as we do. And we do want some control of that.
Yeah. And I do see there's a lot of marketers that are almost getting lazy with it, where they're completely relying on responsive ads, which, we think of Google as their machine learning and algorithms are very impressive, but they're not perfect. So by giving all of our control to Google, although we are feeding that algorithm to learn more, it's learning at our expense.
Yeah, and I think you just made a really good point in the sense that, I think what data has taught us is we're not necessarily performing better when we give freedom to Google. If it was performing better, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We would be aligning our strategy to allow the algorithm to fully operate on its own. But the more control we take, the better our campaigns are performing. And it's really kind of driving my issue with Google's initiative.
I like that. Awesome. What's your third tip for
My third one,
controlling Google
probably
Ads?
the simplest one and the one most people are familiar with. And that's really selecting your network and placement for your ads. You can obviously default to Google. So when people search on Google, there's search partners and there's display network. I really don't like putting search ads in the display network. If we're going to do display advertising, let's be intentional about the ads that are being shown and be as professional as we can, not some automatically generated text ad that becomes a visual asset. I think that's a big miss that people should be getting away from. And the search network is something that we absolutely like testing. But really, I want to get control of my campaign first. I want to understand what works. I want to understand in one channel, figure it out, and then begin to open up to other search networks. So it's not that I'm against it or for it. It's more that we need to fully have control to optimize a campaign or an account to a point where it makes sense to begin to branch out as our budget increases. So I like to initially control the display network and our partner networks and really focus on Google. And as Google begins to, as we get it optimized to a point where it's performing, then start exploring opening up to additional search networks. And something that you've been doing, which I think is awesome, is even taking that optimized account or campaign and loading it into a channel like Google, which for some customer base or some prospects, into Bing, it's a really good platform that is offering us a lower cost CPC and conversions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so far I'm seeing some really good results from Bing, but I feel very strongly on this search partners and networks thing with setting up a Google Ads search campaign. I believe they hide it so you can spend more money. Now, we have tested for some people or for some clients opening it up to search partners. It does work. For some others, it doesn't. But as a baseline, I think if you're running a search campaign, have it solely be on Google search, not on network partners. Like you said, we can open that up and test that. But they almost hide it. It's like in a drop down and a little checkbox that's already automatically checked for you. So when you're making that campaign, find that checkbox, uncheck it, and then later on you can test that. But yeah, I agree with you.
I tend to believe that anytime Google hides it, it should not be trusted. And that's the same thing they're doing with the text ads. So, if they were a more transparent company, they should be more open about what we're executing and not trick people into some of these strategies that may cost them to spend more money ineffectively.
Mm-hmm. And on the flip side of the coin, I do kind of understand it, because by them hiding those things, they are training their machine learning or their algorithm. So they are trying to feed it data to make it smarter. But like I said earlier, it's sadly at our expense.
Yeah.
So dang it,
Don't
Google.
be evil. Don't be evil. Google, remember when Google was founded? Don't be evil. That's gone. And Daniel's not happy about it. But we'll continue to do Google AdWords. We'll continue to share the best practices. We are fortunate that we get to test at hyperspeed as an agency. And I've enjoyed today's chat. So heck yeah.
Heck yeah. I think you had one more bonus for us, Dan.
The
What was that on?
bonus
What's that on?
was keyword match types.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What did you
Keyword
have?
match types. Man, we should have a whole nother discussion on this topic. As you know, the modified broad, is that correct? Modified broad structure has been deprecated, which again there's no way around that. Google is kind of limiting our control there. And then the bigger concern that I have is in the past, when I shifted to, as I tightened up and went to exact match types, my cost would go down because I would essentially help Google provide a better user experience. I don't know if I have enough data to say this with 100% confidence, but I have enough data to say this with 90% confidence. Google is starting to charge me and punish me for targeting the specific exact search term, and they're basically charging me for saying, yeah, we'll give you exactly what you're asking for, but we're going to charge you more, which is fine, but really they should be rewarding me for providing a better user experience and adding value to their platform. And to me, that is them being evil. So we can talk about that one at a future time, but really interesting topic, really interesting discussion that I think we could talk for hours on. So we should do that in the near future.
Nice. Let's definitely do it.
Awesome.
Well, that's all the points that I have, and I think all the points that you have. So I can bet you guys, if you implement these 3 ways to control your Google ads, you will see better account performance or campaign performance. And of course, let us know if you guys have any other questions around these topics or these points. And if you want to argue on some of this too,
Yeah, I love that.
we'll talk through it.
Have a great week.
So, awesome. Thanks, guys.